So today we are going to start from page number 52 from the diary of Anne Frank. So Anne already tells us in the previous pages that she never wanted to give any description of her own personal life, but she does it. She gives a brief sketch of her family life. She tells us that she has loving parents and some people whom she can call as friends, but she never found them that reliable that she could share with them her secrets. So it's not that those people were not reliable. The main thing was that Anne Frank was not the kind of person who would share her secrets with anyone, right? So it was her nature that she would not ever discuss her secrets with anyone. So it was very important for her to resort to someone with whom she could speak her heart out, and it was diary. Okay, and this is what she wrote in the diary upon her first entry, that she would be speaking her heart out to the diary, and she would become very comfortable, she would be relaxed when she would be able to share her all secrets to the diary, right? So then she gives a brief description of her family, her friends, and now it's on 20th June 1942 that she talks to diary. Let's see what it is. So basically, it's all about her classroom experience, her experience with a teacher called Mr. Ki Singh, and basically, it's all about like how this Anne Frank, how she was termed or regarded as a chatterbox. Basically, Anne Frank was a very talkative girl, right? So the teacher was not very happy with her this habit. So that teacher gave her a punishment on the very first day, that she must write an essay on chatterbox. So basically, Anne Frank was asked to write an essay on chatterbox as a punishment. Got it? Because she was very talkative, so teacher asked her to write an essay on like chatterbox, something like this. So Anne Frank got this task of writing an essay on chatterbox as a punishment. But she could have, and she says this, that she could have written anything. She could have just filled up a few pages upon that topic, writing anything. That is what many children do. But she was not the kind of person who would write anything for the heck of it. What she did, she wanted to write upon chatterbox, but her main mission was to convince the teacher that talking is very important for a person to become relaxed. She took this punishment as a means to convince her teacher as to why she talks. Got it? So for the intelligent children, even the punishment is a means to prove themselves. Got it? So she wrote a very good essay. It was not about writing good essay. It was all about her convincing nature. She convinced her teacher about the importance of talking. Okay, and the teacher liked her essay, and next time she was again found talking in the class. Then the teacher again gave her punishment upon the same topic. Okay, then again she wrote, and third time she was asked to write she was given poetic words to write something upon that, and third time, with the help of a friend, she wrote a beautiful and very convincing poem, and the teacher was extremely happy, impressed with her write-ups. It's not that the teacher liked her write-ups, the teacher started understanding her. Okay, the teacher understood that this girl doesn't talk for no reason, but she talks with some convincing motives behind. Right? So this is what the intelligent children are like. So the intelligent children, whatever they do, they are able to convince their elders or their teachers, like why they do this, or what is their motive behind it. So because intelligent children always do everything with a reason behind it. Even if they are talkative, So you people might also agree with me that the intelligent children are usually very talkative, usually very mischievous. They are all up to the maximum pranks. But the thing is that uh, they are always able to convince their teachers that it was with a reason. Okay, so that's the only difference between the intelligent children or the other children. It's not that the other children are not intelligent, but it's how they take the life as. So let's see now, dearest Kitty, very interesting part of her diary. You'll all love it. Our entire class is quaking in its boots. So the whole class was very afraid. The whole class was very nervous. So the whole class is quaking in its boots. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. So why was everybody nervous? Because that was the result day. And on that day, all students would come to know like whether they have passed or whether they have failed. So when they are those who will move up to the next form means they'll have passed, and those who will be kept back means that they have failed. Got it in your language? So that was a result day, and they were all very nervous because it was a result day, and they were expecting either to pass or they were afraid that they might fail. Half the class is making bets. GN and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us, CN and Jax, who have staked their entire holiday savings on their bet. So the almost whole class was, making bets. What kind of bets were they making? Like whether they will pass or not. And Anne Frank and her friend GN, they were laughing. You know, they were laughing at the silly at those boys who were sitting behind them. And actually, those two boys, CN and Jax, they had, they were making bets as to whether they would pass or not from morning to night. It's you are going to pass. The other one would say, no, I am not. Yes, you are. No, I am not. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outbursts can't calm them down. So those two boys, what were the names of those two boys? CN and Jacques. So CN and Jacques, they were making bets upon whether they would pass or not. One was telling the other that he would pass or he would be promoted, and the other one was saying no, he would not. So the Anne Frank and a friend, they were, really very, very annoyed, angry at them. But even their pleading glances did not calm them down. So if you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back. So Anne Frank was of the opinion that most of the students in the class were actually very dumb and they should not be promoted actually. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. So Anne Frank was of the opinion, as you people also agree, will also agree that what was Anne Frank of the opinion? That most of the students are dummies or the dumb kinds and they should not pass. But Anne Frank was also of the opinion that most of the teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. You can't say what teachers have in their mind. You can't say how teachers would react at certain situation. Okay. So teachers are the most unpredictable creatures. Who are unpredictable people? About whom you cannot say anything with surety. Okay. If you are cracking a joke in the class, then you never know whether the teacher will also laugh with that joke or whether you will be sent out of the class for cracking a joke. You never know. You never know how the teacher would react, right? So it's not only Anne Frank who says this. I guess you all will agree with that. Even I agree with this, right? So I'm not so worried about my girlfriends and myself. We'll make it. So Anne Frank is not at all worried about herself or about her friends. She knows that they will all be promoted. The only subject I'm not sure about is maths. Anyway, all we can do is wait. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose heart. So the only subject with which, this girl was not very comfortable was maths. But unless and until the result comes up, they could not say anything. So the best thing was to wait. And moreover, meanwhile, they kept on motivating each other to not to lose heart. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. What does it mean that I get along pretty well with all my teachers? So this girl, Anne Frank, had she could develop very good rapport or very good relation with her all teachers. There are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women. So she had very good rapport, she had very good relation with her teachers. Mr. Keesing, the old foggy, so old, Fogey, foggy means an old-fashioned person. The person who has old, the one who doesn't have modern ideologies. So there was one teacher called Mr. Keesing, the old foggy who teaches maths, was annoyed with me for ages because I talked so much. So, and it had very good chemistry or very good rapport with all the teachers, except Mr. Keesing. And Mr. Keesing was not very happy with with Anne Frank because of her being talkative. After several warnings, he assigned me extra homework, an essay on the subject, a chatterbox. So that person, that Mr. Keesing, maths teacher, asked Anne to write an essay on a chatterbox. So who is a chatterbox? Chatterbox is a very talkative person. A chatterbox, what can you write about that? I would worry about that later. I decided. I jotted down the title in my notebook, tucked it in my bag, and tried to keep quiet. So when she was asked to write an essay on this topic, she wrote down the topic in her notebook and she thought like she would do that work later on, and she put her notebook in her bag and she tried to keep quiet and she tried to remain silent that day. That evening, after I had finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. So after having finished her all work, she saw that title of the essay, note about the essay. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen. Anyone could ramble on and leave big spaces between the words. What is rambling on? Rambling on is talking or writing aimlessly for long, as many of you people also do. So in exams, when you get some question or some topic, what you people do when you don't know the answer, what you people do? You people start writing the question for 3 times. Okay, you try to hoodwink the teacher, like maybe the teacher would not read what you've written and will just give you, put a tick on the answer because you might have covered up some space. So this is what Anne says. Anne did do this because she was not a dumb child. She was a very intelligent child. Okay, and she could also, she said, like she could have rambled on. She could have wrote anything, thereby leaving spaces in between. But the trick was to come up with convincing arguments to prove the necessity of talking. Underline this. So what did she say? Like she could have written anything because she was given the punishment. But the point was that she wanted to prove that talking was very, very important. I thought, and suddenly I had an idea. I wrote the 3 pages. Mr. Keesing had assigned me and was satisfied. So she wrote 3 pages upon that essay and Mr. Keesing was very satisfied. I argued that talking is a student's trait and that I would do my best to keep it under control. So what did she write in the essay? What was her argument? Her main point was that talking is an important quality of a child. But she promised that she would keep her nature of talking under control. So everybody should talk. But the thing is, you should keep your habit of talking under control. This is what Anne Frank said. So children, this kind of, experience, what Anne Frank has told us, what we come to conclude about her, we come to know that Anne Frank was not only intellectually intelligent, She was emotionally also very intelligent. This is what we call as emotional IQ, emotional Q. But that would never be able to cure myself of the habit since my mother talked so much. As I did, if not more, and that's there not much you can do about inherited traits. So she, number one, she said like she would try to control herself, but there was one more aspect to her habit of talking, that what was another aspect, that she had inherited the trait of talking from her mother. Her mother was equally talkative. So she says that it is very difficult to treat or to cure the things which you have got from your inheritance. So it is difficult to come over, it is difficult to control or overcome inherited traits. Okay. Mr. Keesing had a good laugh at my arguments, but when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay. So Mr. Keesing really had a good laugh at what she had written. So when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay. So it's not that the teacher laughed and forgot that he must not give her punishment. So next time, when in the next lesson she was again talking, he gave her one more essay. This time it was supposed to be on an incorrigible chatterbox. What do you mean by incorrigible? Somebody who cannot be corrected. Okay, and incorrigible is a bad quality. So you are incorrigible. Suppose I tell you like you are incorrigible, then don't be very happy that Anne was also called as incorrigible. Incorrigible means somebody who cannot be made better, somebody who cannot be rectified. So Anne Frank was asked to write an essay on an incorrigible chatterbox, the one who cannot be made better. I handed it in, and Mr. Keesing had nothing to complain about for 2 whole lessons. So Anne wrote upon that topic also, and then Mr. Keesing did not say anything for the next 2 lessons. What do you think? Mr. Keesing, the teacher, forgot about punishing Anne Frank? Or what do you think? Anne Frank did not talk during the next 2 lessons? What do you think might have happened? Do you think the teacher might have forgotten? Or do you think Anne Frank might not have talked for the next 2 lessons? What do you think? Come on. Come on, what do you say? Raise hand. Yes, Prabhun, what do you say?
Ma'am, according to me, it was like Anne Frank had talked in both the 2 lessons, but the teacher kept on ignoring her.
No, I don't think so. Anyone else? What do you think, children? Anyone else? Okay, Khushi.
Maybe the teacher was somewhat convinced by the essay written by Anne Frank and decided that it was time he observed what she was talking about. Or
Okay. So you also think almost same what Prabhu also said. Prabhu said like the teacher might have ignored what when she might have been talking in between, and you say that maybe the teacher was somewhat convinced with what that girl was saying. You both are correct, but at the same time, let me add from my side. Children, the teacher had asked Anne Frank to write upon the same topic for 2 times, right? So though Anne Frank says that number one, she had inherited the trait of being talkative from her mother, so it was very difficult for her to control her this nature. Secondly, she also told us that she would try her level best to control herself. So after having written the essay on as a punishment upon the same topic, somewhere, children, when you write on something, you get affected. If she kept on writing about like why she talks, she should not talk much, because she also knew that she should not talk, then that assignment might have had some effect upon her, and she might not have talked much during the next 2 lessons. You people might have heard the importance of writing. When you have any problem, You write it down. You'll get a solution. And Mr. Ki Singh was a great teacher, and he also knew that when she would write upon the same topic for 2 times or 3 times, then somewhere or the other she will get to know, she'll realize, or she might become disciplined, right? For the next 2 lessons, the girl Anne Frank might not have talked much. Okay, Mr. Ki Singh doesn't seem to be a teacher who might have ignored the talkative child in maths class. Howsoever intelligent the child is, you people will all agree with me that your maths teacher never tolerates talkative children in the class, right? It's not that if the intelligent child will talk in the class, then the maths teacher will say, never mind, he's or she's very intelligent, let her talk. Let me carry on my maths. So are you convinced with what I'm saying? So, though one more paragraph is left, shall we finish? It's a break, I guess. Let's take 5 minutes, children, okay? The class road, I had to, okay. Mr. Ki Singh, however, during the 3rd lesson, he had finally had enough. Anne Frank, as punishment for talking in the class, now write an essay entitled Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. So what was the title of the essay now? She was given an essay on this verse or on this rhyming title, Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. Just okay. So the class road, I had to laugh too, though I had nearly exhausted my ingenuity on the topic of chatterboxes. So Anne had already written 2 topics on chatterbox, and this time she feels at her, like how much you can write on one topic, isn't it? So she felt as if her originality upon that topic had finished. It was time to come up with something else, something original. My friend Sam, who is good at poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to end in verse, and I jumped for joy. So her friend San offered to help her out, and was very happy. Mr. Ki Singh was trying to play a joke on me with this ridiculous subject, but I would make sure the joke was on him. Got it? I finished my poem and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and father's man with the 3 baby ducklings who were bitten to death by the father because they quacked too much. So here it was a poem with in this poem there was a story like a mother duck and was there, father duck was there, father's man, and they had 3 baby ducklings, and those 3 baby ducklings were killed by father because they talked so much, because they quacked too much. Luckily, Mr. Ki Singh took the joke the right way. So if Anne Frank and her friend had written that story in the words, it had a meaning that talkative, if somebody is talkative by nature, you cannot make that person quiet forcefully. It is about killing that person. If you make somebody quiet forcefully, what you are doing, you are killing the person's originality, you are killing the person's ingenuity, originality, inventiveness, or her innate self. You're killing somebody's soul. It is good to be quiet, but if somebody is talking, one cannot force a person to be quiet forcefully. If one does it, it is like killing one's curiosity, inventiveness, or creativity. That was the moral of the story which Anne and her friend had written, and teacher was able to understand it. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comments, and to several other classes as well. Since then, I've been allowed to talk and haven't been assigned any extra homework. On the contrary, Mr. Ki Singh's always making jokes these days. So this story has even changed the teacher. Okay, Even the teacher now started understanding, because he started understanding the student, especially Anne Frank, and he never stopped her from talking. With this, the story has this extract has finished, children. So you people go through these